Barry Humphries Sequestration Fund, in association with Edna Care of Switzerland and the International Friends of the Prostate PLC, presents the distinguished world megastar, Dr. the Dame, Edna Everage.
Yes, it is me. Isn't it exciting? It's too long since I confronted myself with my peer group, if I can call you that. London weekend, well, they've been very kind to me, and I asked them what they'd like for Crizzy, and those boys at LWT said, "You, Dame Edna, you're our favourite stocking filler," and I think I am, spookily enough. I'm certainly queen of the ratings, aren't I? And I've been gift-wrapped tonight by my talented son, Kenny, of Kenneth Everage modes, Melbourne, Sydney and Manila. It's a lovely frock. I can feel women's eyes boring into this. But ever since my show, the Dame Edna Experience, was such a tremendous success, celebrities from all over the world, real celebrities, wannabe celebrities, and people who just thought they were celebrities, have been clamouring for an encounter with me. It's been Cardboard City outside London weekend. People slumming it in their Rolls Royces, sleeping all night in their Harrods. Hello, Jeffrey. Hello, Mr. Martin. Sleeping all night in their Harrods hampers, longing to bribe, beg or borrow their way into this award-winning or potentially award-winning show. Everyone wants a seat, but of course, call me old-fashioned, there are no seats. It's been impossible. People in hospital have been begging for bypass surgery to get in. That's why we've got nurse, little Sister Bedgegood over there. Hello, sister. She's here in case anyone has a funny turn while they're talking to me. And people are inclined to come over a little bit strange. Don't be frightened of me. I'm a person. I am. Prick me and I bleed. There's no difference. I've said it once. I'll say it 100 times. There's no difference between me and you except I'm rich and talented. And you are almost rich and talented. But if you're expecting a show, you may be disappointed. This isn't a show. It's not entertainment per se. I love saying per se. I mean, if I were home entertainment, look, I'm not a bowl of spaghetti, I'm not a bottle of wine and after 8 mint. That's home entertainment in my book. I'm a therapist, I'm a counsellor, I'm a swami. This is the output for my input. It really is. This isn't a studio. I think of it as a massage parlour for the human spirit, darling. I do. Where I give you what you dare not ask your husband or wife to give you. And that's a brain job. That's what it is. You know, Dr. Jonathan Miller said to me the other day, after 5 minutes conversation with me, he said, "Dame Edna, you've given me the best brain job I've ever had in my life." And that's a big compliment from Dr. John, don't you think? Mother Teresa said after watching one of my shows, she said, after seeing you, she said, "I feel a better person." Now, compliments like that don't grow on trees, do they? Now, there's a lot of people here, all looking gorgeous and happy already. That's what I like to see. And almost healed. This is going to be healing. It's not a show, as I say, it's a tool. It's an interactive learning tool. Now, there's a lot of people here. I want as many people to share as possible tonight. And just to make things a little easy, I want you all to centre yourselves. I want everyone to hold hands for a moment. Just hold hands. A moment of silence. Little silence, please. I wonder what people tuning in will make of this. Now, lots of questions. questions. First question, please. Who's got a question? Bob Hoskins. Bob, look at you, you darling. You look a bit biblical, don't you? And congratulations, before you say a word, Robert, on the wonderful success you've had.
Oh, thank you.
You've given minicab drivers new hope. You know, he's found his way. This wonderful actor. You've found your way to the top of your profession, Bob, and probably couldn't find your way from Bermondsey to Bayswater. Clapped out Cortina, could you, Possum? What's your question, my darling?
Well, it's not really a question. It's just that we were all talking outside, and sure...
That's understandable.
Yeah, of course. But we were talking, and I'm sure I speak on behalf of all of us, that we're really very, very sad about your very tragic loss.
My loss?
Well,
What, darling? I haven't lost anything, sweetheart.
Your husband? He's just died?
Norm. Thank you very much for starting my show. I'm afraid Norm has been gathered, yes. This is going to come as a bit of a shock to a lot of people in other parts of the world. But my husband, I mean, he's been clinically dead 5 times. This is it, I'm afraid. And it is sad. It is very, very sad. It's something I have to learn to accept, Bob. Sweetheart, you put it very sweetly, and let's get it out of the way. My husband's last words to me were, "Give it to them, Edna." I wasn't quite sure what he meant, whether it was a professional exhortation or whether he was referring to some of his vital organs, because my husband has been globally recycled. He's a state-of-the-art donor. When we got to his bedside, he was just a dent in the pillow, poor darling. He signed himself away. As a matter of fact, he's been so successfully distributed throughout the world that I frankly thought the cremation was a waste of money. I don't mean that in a horrible way. I mean that very nicely. It would have been probably more sensible just to pop him in the microwave. I almost wish I'd done it in my own kitchen. What woman doesn't? But Sister Younghusband, my husband's constant companion, in fact, that nurse was his right hand for a very, very long time. As some members of the nursing profession are. She made a fool of herself at the committal. She threw herself onto the rollers. You know, she nearly went down into the bowels of the crematorium and had her handles unscrewed, as a matter of fact. But she's behaved very, very badly, so I wish all those things had happened at home. But Norm's bits have gone everywhere. They've been helping people out and in one particular case. But his organs haven't been universally accepted. I have to say this, Bob, if you're thinking of donating yourself. The Mayo Clinic rejected my husband's pancreas, which I thought was an insult. I mean, it's not easy palming off a pre-owned pancreas, I have to admit, even if it's had one careful owner. And I had his sweetbreads on my hands for long. The Oxfam shop wouldn't even take his suits. As I was about to throw them into the incinerator, a little claw shot forth. Of course, it was the hand of my bridesmaid, Madge Alsop. You see, she's wearing one of Norm's suits now. Can the cameras get a picture of her? Look at that. What does she look like? Dr. Crippen? Norman Wisdom, or is it a bit like Gracie Fields in one of old Claude Hulbert's suits? A sad sight. Of course, Madge is as deaf as a post. She hasn't even got a battery in at the moment. Little does that woman know that that suit of Norm, she had it, of course, cut down by the Emanuels, cost a fortune. Little does Madge realise that that's the suit my husband had his first urological spasm in. In those trousers, my husband first realised that he had something very gravely awry with his waterworks. Of course, strange women approach Madge when she's dressed like that, Hampstead lady novelists. With monocles. She looks as though she's published by the Virago Press, doesn't she? He's written nothing more interesting than a letter to the milkman. However, Bob, that wasn't a question, darling. I've rambled on a bit. It wasn't. It was a statement, sweetheart. I want questions. I want difficult, curly questions. But keep them short. Short and curly questions, if possible. Dr. Anthony Clare, darling, please. You're next. Sir John Mills soon. Sorry, Sir John. Dr. Clare was in by a whisker.
Dame Edna, I'm a psychiatrist, and as you know...
I know that.
Do
you want me to lie down, do you?
we, as you probably know, lay great emphasis on the importance of grieving. And in view of your tragic loss, I wonder the extent to which you've taken this as seriously as perhaps you should.
I have, and it's very unperceptive of you, Dr. Clare, not to notice. I mean, having a good time is my way of grieving. It's my route to grief, and I'm in mourning. I'm wearing black underwear under all of it. I am. And you know, of course, the other night someone said, come to a dinner party next Thursday. I said, I'm sorry, I'm terribly sorry, I'm grieving. It's as simple as that, Dr. Clare. You're just a little bit too simplistic, I think, in some of your assessments. I mean that nicely, I do. Sorry, call me old-fashioned, but I do. And you know, I didn't mean to snap at you, by the way. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm suffering from PMT possums, which is post-mortem tension. That's what I'm saying. But I have to say that on my last trip to Australia, where I have a little memorial to Norm, it's a little plaque. I visited his plaque. Of course, when I used to see him in the hospital, I'd visit his plaque. He had a lot of dental trouble, and the plaque finished as soon as you walked in the door, but that's another kind of plaque. I have this little granite tablet on a wall out at the Garden of Rest, and it's very beautiful. The sprinklers are going, scattering their rainbows hither and yon, and there are people sort of sprinkling their various loved ones' ashes. It's beautiful out there, and I noticed already that a kookaburra, that's a beautiful Australian marsupial, had flown over my husband's memorial tablet, leaving... Well, shall we say it had passed over the tablet. I rushed back to my limousine to get a rag from the glove box, and I was just buffing it up. And I suddenly looked at the rag and realised it was a pair of my husband's underpants. At that moment, I knew grief. I said goodbye to him then. There, standing on a stepladder with a pair of my husband's soiled wife runs in my hair. Does that answer your question, Dr. Clare?
Almost.
Hayley Mills.
I've always wanted to ask you, you know, from one woman to another and one mother to another mother.
Of course, Hayley.
How do you feel about this new trend of blaming the parents for the sins of the children?
Oh, it happens, Hayley. It's not new, my darling. It's not new. Children have been blaming their parents for years. They have. It happened. I remember almost blaming my mother. You know, what I knew was she had a lot to answer for, my mother. But it happened, and I think there must have been a time when you put your little Lord and Lady Mills through the mill, Hayley. There was a time, wasn't there? I don't mean to bring little skeletons out of closets. I don't, Hayley. I'm not going. Not that little Bolton fellow was a skeleton. He was very nice. But I mean to say this. No. He was delightful. But I'm going to say this. It happens, you know. My daughter Valmay was berating me. She's been giving... I have a beautiful daughter, Valmay. She was beautiful. We pumped telephone numbers into her education. Not just telephone numbers, but telephone numbers with international dialing codes in front. I've given my daughter Valmay everything, and she has bitten the hand that feeds her. She's reactionary. She shoplifts, Hayley. Now, look, darling. You know, that's... I mean, it's something Dr. Clare would know about it, Anthony. Look at me when I'm talking to you. She does. It's a cry for help, isn't it, shoplifting?
Yes, I think in the circumstances it might be more understandable.
Yes. Oh, do you? Nothing more unreliable than unremunerated medical advice, though. meeting an architect at a party and asking what you should do about your kitchen. It never really. Full marks for trying, though, Anne. However, she shoplifts. Remind me not to refer to you again, by the way, darling. I mean that caringly. Salome, she goes into supermarkets, she just takes things, she stuffs them down her pantyhose. I said to one of my minders, I said, follow that girl and pay for whatever she's got in her pantyhose. He said, she charges for that, does she? I've changed, Hayley. I'm a changed woman. It's tough love from me now. I don't do it. She's got to make her own mistakes, and I think children have to. I made a few. You made a few. We all did. Little Johnny probably made a few, bless his heart. But we all do. And I think the more you get bolstered up by parents, the more you go on making the same mistakes. And I'm not doing it for Valmay. She's made her own bed. She's got to sleep in it, I'm afraid. Let's have another question. Barry Norman.
Dame Edna,
Look
in
at you,
your
Barry.
illustrious, unique career, there seems to me to be one thing missing, and that is the cinema. Don't you think it'd be a good idea to tell the story of your remarkable life on film?
Yes, I would. I'm thinking of making a film. I'm thinking of making a film about my life. I've been approached by David Putnam. He wrote me a lovely letter from his club in Wigmore Street. There's gorgeous little hint of Dettol about the letter, I thought. But he is going to... He's really very, very keen to sign me up. He is very... Bless you. I'm writing my autobiography. I don't know what to call it, a spooky life or my gorgeous, gorgeous life, or call me old-fashioned. I haven't decided. But I'm sure. Who's going to read it when it comes out? Hands up. Oh, goodness. Well, you'll all be in the index, the rest of you won't. I don't know who to dedicate it to. I'm thinking of dedicating it to myself, as a matter of fact. Just to be a bit different. But a film of my life will be wonderful. No, I don't know. I think I'll play myself when young. And I thought little Jane Seymour can play me as I am now. And then I thought that little dimpled dame, Judi Dench, could play me, you know, in the next decade or so. And then I'll have Diana Rigg playing me as an old woman. In heavy character makeup. I should mention, I'm heaving myself out of this luxurious chair. I should mention, Possums, that isn't this informal and lovely? I mean, it's hardly, doesn't feel like a show, does it? Well, it isn't. I should mention that all of you are wearing little stars. Have a peep down. You see those stars you're wearing? This is colour coding. And this is just for me. I can't tell you what the different colours mean, but it's degrees of stardom and celebrity. That is. You know, some have got green, some have got orange. I can't. It would be invidious for me to tell you what the colours mean. I'm not going. You'd only be scratching each other's eyes out. Suffice it to say that little Geoffrey Archer's the only one with a yellow star. What does it mean? Isn't it spooky? Madge Allsop, my bridesmaid, naturally has no star at all. But that's as it should be. Anyway, to be very, very rude, and I wouldn't want to offend, you know, small-scale stars, you know, people wearing the green... Oh, what have I said? What have I said? Next question, please. Jonathan Ross.
I might like to ask you a personal question about your family, if that's
Oh,
okay.
family, yes.
I'm very interested in your unmarried son, Kenny. Has he resolved... Has he managed to come to terms with the nature of his sexuality yet?
Has he come to terms with the nature of his sexuality? Jonathan, I'm disappointed in you. You make me feel like Mary Whitehouse, darling. My son is as red-blooded a male as you are, Jonathan. My son is a womanizer, as a matter of fact. I'd like you to go up to his room late one night. As a matter of fact, he asked me if I would ask you to go up there. You walk in there, you turn on the spotlights. They're all on dimmers. And there's Barbara Stanwyck, there's Joan Crawford, Susan Hayward, all these gorgeous, gorgeous women, Veronica Lake, Judy Garland, of course, Marlena Dietrich, all there smiling down from all. My son, by the way, is the Australian secretary of the Barbara Stanwyck Appreciation Society. And I said, Kenny, the only thing is, I said that they're all dead, or nearly dead. I said, can't you just fall in love with a living woman? He said, you're my woman, Mum, he says to me. That's what he says to me. He said, you know, I love you like Anthony Perkins loved his own mother in that film. I haven't seen it, but I believe it's a delightful film. Let me know when it's on, Barry Norman, will you? You know all those things. You're better than what's on, Possum. However, I saw you with your hand twinkling almost first, Sir John Mills. And I'm longing to know what you want to ask me, you darling.
Well, Damon, I hope that you won't take offence at this.
No, I don't
I'm a great
take
admirer
offence.
of yours, and
I know you are.
I've worked with you, and I think you're a very generous person. But I just want
I can be generous. On the other hand, my revenge could be terrible, John. Not to you, darling.
I wonder, Damon, aren't you perhaps just a little bit worried that lovely Madge Alsop is fast becoming a star in her own right?
Back to Madge. Well, she's becoming a star if too many people ask me questions about her. And incidentally, Geoffrey, your time will come. You know very well where impatience has got you in the past. I'm sorry. Madge, well, she was in this commercial. Of course, I'm glad she was. I put her up for it. She needed a bit of money. It's given her a little bit of an identity. She's with her autograph book. Of course, she's asked what celebrity hasn't been pestered by my bridesmaid for their autograph. But, of course, she is a television series, or her autograph book is in New Zealand. She puts her autograph book up on a sort of little stand and turns one page a week. They film it. That's a show in New Zealand. It gives you some idea. It gives you some idea of, you know, the standard. It's won an award. It won a bronze kiwi. It wasn't. It didn't look like a kiwi. It was a horrible brown lump. It looked like something a kiwi might have done. But anyway, I mean, of course, she dresses abominably. I mean, she looks... Her clothes make the Turin Shroud look glamorous. I mean that nicely. I'm not meaning that in an irreverent way either. You know, the Turin Shroud. I think it's authentic, too. I mean, I don't believe that it's an old dishcloth with a picture of Billy Connolly on it. Next question, please. So, Yehudi Menuhin.
Dame Edna, I know that your life at the top is full of stress. How do you deal with the day-to-day, those awful pressures during your mega-stardom?
Oh, so Yehudi, you darling. Well, of course, like you, I was a bit of a child prodigy. I was, bless your heart. You were playing your little fiddle in the maternity ward, weren't you? And I was something like that. My mother told me this before we bundled her into the maximum security Twilight home. She said that when I was born, she said they brought this little bubba along with a little mauve mop on its head. I was born with stereo, by the way. Yehudi, if I may call you that. Whatever I like. My mother said, what is it? What is it? You know how mothers do. What is it? What is it? And the nurse said, it's a one-off. It's a one-off. And if the word megastar had been coined then, they probably would have said that then. Probably said something like that when you were born too, little Ringo, you darling. I adore that boy. But I think, you know, I think I'm as fit as a fiddle. I think, to use a metaphor, you'd understand, Yehudi, darling. It's health. It is. I've still got my drives. I've still got my juices. My gynecologist looked up the other day and he said to me, he said, you are still capable of having grandchildren, Edna. Isn't that wonderful? And I do simple little exercises. I do something. I'm going to pass this on to you because you could be in a better state of preservation than you are at the moment. I mean that very, very kindly. This is a person who's fond of you talking. I do something called yoga. Now, it's got nothing... It has absolutely nothing to do with yogurt. It's something else. It's an oriental thing. I'll take you back afterwards and show you a few simple positions. I will. I hope no one will misconstrue what we're doing. There are a few little hazards in yoga. You know, I got actually locked in the slot position the other day. You know the slot position? That's the lotus spelt backwards. It gives you a rough idea what kind of position I was in. But it is, you know, I'm healthy, and I think it is health every time. Jeffrey Archer, you're longing to say something. Spit it out, spit it out.
Dame Edna, first I want to thank you for the kind letter where you invited my mother.
She's dignified and she's restrained. My mother is restrained, but unfortunately by men in white uniforms. Oh, most amusing. Most amusing. Oh, yes. Old age is funny now, is it? We're reduced to that level. Michael Winner.
Dame Edna, I don't like snakes. Do you have any pet hates or aversions?
I didn't know you didn't like snakes, and yet some creepy crawlies have come into those films of yours, haven't they? Not always animals, either. But I do have pet aversions, and the thing about pet aversions which is spooky... Hello, Esther, darling. I didn't see you. Looking lovely. It must be the lighting. Please, for heaven's sake... Lady Mills, I'm disappointed in you. Michael, I think the pet aversion is something that we can't explain. There are things that in my life I think, oh, that's yucky, and yet I don't know why. There is something I can't stand, a type of a person. Now, don't get me wrong, and I'm going out on a limb here, and this could be construed as tastelessness. But there's a type of person I cannot bear, and do you know what they are? Lip readers. You see, they're wondering what I'm talking about. No, the way they look at your mouth, you know, you'd think you had a bit of spinach on your tooth, or your tongue was coated. I hate lip readers. I'm sorry. They can't help it, I know. Please don't be offended. I know they can't help it. But then they're not being offended, are they? Because, you know, I'm being tasteful. If I get any abusive letters to, you know, after this from lip readers, I'll know who told them. It'll be one of you, I'm afraid. And although it's about 55 million, we'll track you down. I'm sorry, but we will, because I don't want to give any offence to lip readers, because they can't. It's just a thing. And you asked me, Michael Winner. You asked me, and I told you, because I'm up front. I'm sorry. Call me old-fashioned. Sorry. And are you making another one of those, what are they called again?
A death wish, David.
What, a death wish? Are you?
No, we're not doing any more of that.
Oh, no more.
We're going in for comedy now.
I thought they were funny. Absolutely gorgeous. I can't help it. I'm putting the words into your mouth. Eat your heart out, little Emmanuel's there. Another Kenneth Everidge Triumph I'm wearing. And I'm sorry I had to change my frock during that commercial break, but unfortunately I wet my dress. No, please. It wasn't nerves. Or would I make such a yucky and tasteless reference? No. But I spilled a little night nurse frappe on my frock. Old Madge carries it around in a thermos, don't you, Madge? And I must admit I had a little fortifying nip. And the result was a spoiled dress, not just for the time being. So I'm wearing this other creation, which is gorgeous and gives a bit of variety to the show. If variety it lacks, which it doesn't. It's a little tight. I just have to sit... People wonder why my ankles are so gorgeous. I'm preempting a question. But I do little exercises in planes when no one's looking. Who doesn't? And I do those little things with my feet until the ankle stops clicking, I think is the idea. Just keep on doing that little circular motion, and I keep my legs pretty gorgeous and enviable. Very, very much praised on my old pins. Who wants to ask me another question? Meatloaf. Hello, Mr. Loaf. Lovely to see you.
Love your dress.
It's lovely, isn't it?
It is.
And
it's
I
lovely.
love you. And you've winged your way in from the United States to see me?
Yes, I did. And you know what? In the USA Today snapshots, I was reading that a lot of U.S. women are widowed, but many of them remarry. And I just wonder if you were planning to find a new soulmate for yourself.
Oh, darling. What lies behind those words of yours, Mr. Loaf? Or may I call you meat? Oh, darling. Well, it is a bit soon after normal. I shouldn't be smiling. It is a little bit soon for me to be thinking really too seriously of tying the knot with another person. Naturally, I'm looking. I'm casting my eye over a few male members of the audience here today. But it's widow shopping. That's all it is. It is. It's nothing more serious than that. And spookily enough, you know, I could be married already. I could commit an act of bigamy if I got married. Now, this is a funny little concept, isn't it? But I could be married to a man here this evening. I could be Mrs. Imran Khan, couldn't I? I could. Where are you, darling? Hello. Oh, no longer the world's most eligible bachelor. Does the idea excite you just a little? No, I'm pulling you. I'm pulling that silly leg of yours, to use a cricketing expression. I am. But you're not married, are you? Not even secretly?
I am, actually.
Ah, are you?
Secretly married.
Do you think your mother would approve of me just a little bit?
As a second wife, yes.
Oh. Well, that's not bad. I think I might have to settle for second best. I think I might. You darling. I'll give you a hug later. What women will be so jealous of me. Well, I saw a little gleam of hope in his eye. There's old Madge down there. Look, goodness, I have to tell you something. You know, Norm used to sign things before he passed away. He'd sign anything you put in front of him. And he signed up for about a year's lunches. Of course, he passed away, but the hospital are inflexible. They still serve them. Madge, she goes, Barry, honestly, she goes into the hospital every day to eat those lunches. Even the intravenous ones. She does. It's pathetic. She's in the corridor. Some of them, of course, those intravenous ones don't taste of anything. She's in the corridor with a drip trying to find an orifice with taste buds. It's not a pretty sight, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. Next question, please. Esther Ranson, you darling.
How long ago did we first meet, then, Edna?
Esther, my darling, I knew you'd launch into a little dialogue. I knew it would be a simple question. Look at her body language, too, little Esther. Little hand over the mouth. What would that mean? Of course, Desmond Morris isn't here. He couldn't be here, but it means something. Are you taking the words back just as you say them? Covering your little mouth?
I'm admiring you. You won't remember.
Lester, please don't misunderstand me, darling. I'm a long-term admirer of you. I met you in the mid-60s when you worked for another little network, and very conscientiously. And already you had your little sling back on the bottom rung of the ladder to success. You had that gleam in your eye, Esther.
You retain such loveliness. I want to ask you about this wonderful apartment. Who designed this?
It's temporary, very, very temporary. It's only for tonight, as a matter of fact. I've rented it. It's available, you know. You could move in here with little Desmond.
That's almost a compliment.
It is, Esther, and it's a lead-up, I hope, to the question that I'm hoping you're going to ask. No show without punch.
If you ever lost those radiant looks, would you ever contemplate plastic surgery?
I wouldn't, Esther. I've never thought of plastic surgery. I've never had anything done to myself at all. Nothing.
Nowhere?
No, in no area of my anatomy have I had anything done whatsoever. And ladies can have a look at me later if they want to. I'm available in the powder room if they want to. No, I mean this quite seriously, Esther. Not even in the dental department, darling. Mind you, seen you coming out of Janet Street Porter's dentist. I have. No, I'm teasing. I shouldn't even make jokes about it because you look in very good shape and you've got that bone structure. Nose in the middle and an eye on each side. It doesn't suit everybody. Bill Wyman is longing to ask me something and I'm thrilled to see you here, Billy boy. Lovely to see you. And look, you don't change, do you? You don't. Fresh and, well, not fresh, but I mean... cheerful and gorgeous and relaxed. You having a nice time?
Not bad.
Lovely to see you, Billy.
You're a survivor, aren't you? And I'd like to know your secret for us young lads, you know, to know how you manage to survive like you
Listen to that, Ringo, a survivor. You're a survivor. I mean, when the Stones started off, you started rolling with them, didn't you, darling? And you're still with us, and you're still giving a tremendous amount of pleasure. What is the secret of survival? There's a few survivors here. There's dear old Johnny there and lovely Mary. What are you, John, now? Are you 81 yet? Not quite. Not quite. Oh, what's all the fuss about, then? However, there's Judy Dench, of course, my favourite dame. Hello, Judy, my darling woman. Lovely to see you here tonight, too. Precious one. And I was thrilled when you got your damehood. I'm still thrilled when I think of it. You know, it's incredible that someone with a name like Judy Dench should have a damehood. Really, I mean this nicely, Judy, I do. And dench is an interesting word. It means false teeth. Did you know that? When we were burning my mother's things before she went off to the Twilight Home, we found an old book. Hayley, would you please look at me when I'm talking? You're so restless, darling. Little Hayley. When we were burning my mother's things, we found an old book on the meaning of names. It said dench. It's the same root as denture. I don't know if you ever knew that. It's spooky, isn't it? However, Judy, you're gorgeous. You're my favourite little dimpled dame, and I'll give you a hug later, precious heart. Bill Wyman, I haven't forgotten your question. Keep your mystery. Now, a lot of people don't know Bill. You see, they think of you, don't they, as the guitarist with the Stones. And it is the guitar, isn't it, that you play? And they don't know, you see... You've had all this publicity, you've been in the limelight all these years. They don't know you're an authority on medieval wall painting, do they? They don't know that every time a Bulgarian tapestry gets knocked down to a mysterious bidder at Sotheby's, it's you. It's going into the Wyman collection. Bill, it is keeping a mystery, darling, isn't it? I mean, it's a pompous way of expressing it, but that is the bottom line. And there are bits of me I keep to myself. I think you know that, or you wouldn't be still probing away. You'd say there's a bit of Edna that she hasn't revealed, and there always will be. I'm still yielding up new secrets, like the earth yields up new precious and semi-precious stones. And there's little Sam Fox. Hello, darling. Hello, Samantha. Looking beautiful. And who's that man next to you with his hand up? It's little Derek, is it? Oh, the glamour puss of the left. Hello, Derek, darling.
I'll tell you what, David, I've been sitting here wondering why it is that I fancy you so much. I've actually realised. First I thought it was because you reminded me of Mary Whitehouse. Now I realise it's because you remind me of Margaret Thatcher.
Is it? And you secretly fancy Margaret Thatcher, do you?
After looking at you...
That explains a lot, darling. It really does. Good luck with your career. And Samantha, you're an angel. You don't even need to ask me a question.
Do you know that programme Neighbours? No.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Would you like to appear in that?
I was asked to appear in Neighbours. Look, I was asked to appear in Dynasty. You know, I was asked to appear in all of those things. Frankly, I had to give the work to actresses who needed it more. I had to. And I can't be tied down by a series. It's too much for me, Sammy. It really is. I have to be free. If I were in a series, of course they want me in these series, but I said no. Neighbours is very good and its success is wonderful, isn't it? Australian life is just like that. It is the most accurate reflection of Australian life. It is. It is. It's like stepping either... When you go to Australia, it's like stepping into Neighbours or Cell Block, whatever it's called. It really is. It's extremely spooky. Bill, back to you. Another secret of survival, and it's very simple, is making the difficult look easy. Think about that, as you just have. I could tell by the little silence. To make what seems, which is very difficult, look effortless. Now, I do that. I think Ringo does that. I think you do that, Bill, too. You know, we put years into our work, into our artistry. Every artist, every little dressmaker, the Emmanuel sitting there, little Jude, even Barry Norman. I mean, it's making something that you've learnt, you've sweated blood and tears over, look like it's just off the top of your head. People say, good heavens, they pay that Dame Edna big bickies. She's a squillionairess. What does she do? She just rabbits on the stage, and somehow people are fascinated by what she has to say. But there's artistry there. You know, and in a sense, too, I mean, you can't have it both ways, can you? To say, why don't you recognise my artistry? I mean, it's a bit of a paradox. It's for open university students, all of this. But you, my darling Bill Wyman, make the difficult look easy, and so do I. And Ringo, too, when you're playing your drums. I mean, people think, you know, when they hear you, darling, they think, well, look, a 3-year-old with a few saucepans. They don't know, do they, possum? They don't know the half of it. Well, I could go on chatting. I could share and care with you for much, much longer as we sit here tonight in the studio at London Weekend, sharing a little of our experience, hope and strength with each other. But alas, time, the constant enemy of us all, is telling me that we must wind up. But I'm still here. I have you in my prayers, and I still hope you keep the flowers and the letters coming in. Music has always been very close to me. We've been talking to little Billy Wyman, little Ringo, to a lot of Simon Rattle, lots of lovely musos here tonight, and little Yehudi, not forgetting you, darling. And I'm no real musician. I try. I do my best. And I have my accompanist waiting in the wings. His name is Laurie Holloway. In you come, Laurie. Give him a big hand. You're looking very nice tonight, Laurie.
Thank you, Dame Edna.
Don't you love this flat?
Beautiful. Your skin is so lovely.
My skin? I was talking about the flat. Laurie, you mentioned my skin.
It's not a lion, Dame Edna.
No, non sequiturs really appeal to me. My skin is lovely. My skin... I feel a song coming on, Lauren. My forehead is no longer wrinkled. I'm no more dejected and sad. Now my husband's remains have been sprinkled at the foot of a prize-winning glad. Oh. Why does this make me think of Norm? Like a phoenix I've arisen from Norm's ashes. His vital organs are snap frozen at the labs. Possums, what am I trying to tell you? I'm a free woman on the market, up for grabs. It's time to let you menfolk touch the nub of me. Zero in upon the existential hub of me. Forget this wasted hour of idle chat. It's high time I told you where I'm really at. Call me old-fashioned, I'm an old-fashioned megastar. The feminists love me, I've always held on to my pride. Let's face it, I am not a power dresser, just a trash fashion lady boy. undies. Success hasn't made me inaccessible. I've still got the common touch, I hope. And fame has made me unimpressible. I bought new undies to meet with the Pope. Janet Reagan, but right now, possums, I need some toy boys eager to help me shop. My favourite beat, South Molton Street.